Hello dear students, myself CMA Padmaja Buzruk. I will discuss hire purchase and installment system. Go to study note number 9, hire purchase and installment system. First I will discuss what is hire purchase system. Under hire purchase system, the purchaser, that is hirer, pays the entire amount in staggered way, namely monthly, quarterly or yearly with some interest. Under this system, the goods are sold with the following conditions. Possession of goods is delivered to a hirer, but the title of the goods, that is ownership, is transferred only when the agreed sum higher purchase price is paid by the hirer. Possession of goods get transferred, but ownership of goods gets transferred to hirer only after payment of last installment. Hirer has right to terminate the agreement at any time before the property so passes. That means he has the option to return the goods, in which case he need not pay installments falling due thereafter. However, the hirer cannot recover the sums already paid, as such sums legally represent higher charges of goods in question. So hirer has option to return the goods. In that case, there is no necessity to pay the installments which are due after return of the goods, and whatever sums he has already paid is to be considered as higher charges, that is rental charges for use of the assets. In case the hirer makes any default in payment of any installment, then the seller can repossess the goods and forfeit the amount already received from hirer, treating it as higher charges. Similarly, the seller can also take possession of the goods if the hirer makes any default in payment of installment. In this case also, whatever amount the hirer has paid is not to be returned to the hirer, considering it as rental charges or higher charges. The hire purchaser during that possession of goods cannot damage, destroy, pillage or sell such goods. He is supposed to take all such care of goods as a prudent person does in his own goods. Hirer is supposed to treat the goods taken on hire purchase as if they are his own goods, and he should take proper care of those goods. Now we'll see what is installment system. In case of installment sale, it is not only the possession of goods but also the ownership in goods is transferred to the buyer immediately at the time of agreement. So possession as well as ownership both gets transferred immediately at the time of agreement in case of installment system. In installment system, if the buyer stops the payment of dues, then the seller does not have the right of seizing his goods. Seller cannot take possession of the goods because ownership gets transferred immediately at the time of agreement under installment system. Now we'll see difference between hire purchase and installment sale. Ownership. Hire purchase stipulates the time at which ownership passes to the buyer. It is usually on the payment of last installment. In case of installment, ownership passes at the time of sale. Default in making payment, seller can repossess the goods in case of hire purchase. In that case, the installment so far paid is treated to be higher charges. In case of installment sale, seller does not have any other right except the right of suing the buyer for the non-payment of price. He cannot repossess the goods. Right of sale or otherwise, no right to sale or otherwise transfer the goods, since the legal position of the hirer is belli. So in case of hire purchase, hirer cannot transfer or sell the goods. In case of installment sale, right to sell or otherwise transfer the goods. That means hirer can sell or transfer the goods. Loss or damage to the goods. Any loss occurring to the goods has to be borne by the seller if the buyer takes reasonable care. If buyer has properly taken care of the assets he has taken on hire purchase system, then loss suffered has to be borne by seller. But in case of installment sale, loss occurring to goods has to be borne by buyer because buyer is owner. Ownership gets transferred immediately at the time of agreement. Now we'll see accounting treatment. Accounting treatment in the books of buyer. There are two methods, cash price method, which is also known as sales method, and interest suspense method. Meaning of sales method. Sales method follows a practical approach and practically, of course not technically, treats the hire purchaser as owner of the asset. Under this method, the asset is recorded at full cash price on the basis of substance over form. This method is more appropriate since the intention all along is to buy the asset. Cash price method or sales method will see journal entries in the books of hire purchaser and in the books of vendor. On transfer of possession of the goods, in the books of hire purchaser, asset account debit to hire vendor, this entry is at cash price. And in the books of hire vendor, hire purchaser account debit to hire purchase sales. Even if hire vendor is selling capital goods, from his viewpoint they are goods only, even if they are capital assets. So he will consider it as hire purchase sale, hire purchaser account debit to hire purchase sales. On making down payment, hire vendor account debit to bank, entry will be passed in the books of hire purchaser, but in the books of hire vendor, as he is receiving the money, bank account debit to hire purchaser. On making interest due on unpaid balance, outstanding interest entry in the books of hire purchaser, interest to hire vendor, and in the books of hire vendor, hire purchaser account debit to interest. On making payment of installment, in the books of hire purchaser, hire vendor to bank, and in the books of hire vendor, bank to hire purchaser, because hire vendor is receiving money from hire purchaser. On providing depreciation, depreciation is always to be provided on cash price. As the hire purchaser will consider it as asset, he will provide depreciation. Entry for depreciation in the books of hire purchaser is depreciation to asset. No entry will be passed in the books of hire vendor. Depreciation is to be transferred to profit and loss account for closing depreciation account. In the books of hire purchaser, entry is profit and loss account debit to depreciation. No entry will be passed in the books of hire vendor. On closure of interest, in the books of hire purchaser, profit and loss account debit to interest. For hire purchaser, he is paying interest. So from the viewpoint of hire purchaser, it is loss. So it is to be debited to profit and loss account. And in the books of hire vendor, he is going to receive the interest. So from his viewpoint, hire vendor's viewpoint, interest is his gain. So he will credit it to profit and loss account. Entry in the books of hire vendor is interest account debit to profit and loss account. Interest suspense method in the books of hire purchaser. Hire purchase asset account debit cash price. Interest suspense account debit total interest to hire vendor, that is hire purchase price. Hire vendor to bank down payment. Interest to interest suspense. This entry is for interest due. Hire vendor account debit to bank installment payment including interest, and profit and loss account debit to interest to depreciation. Depreciation entry is also supposed to be passed. Depreciation to asset and then profit and loss account to depreciation, and this interest will also get transferred to profit and loss account. These are entries in the books of hire purchaser. In the books of hire vendor, entries will be exactly opposite. Only thing is that depreciation entry will not be passed in the books of hire vendor. Disclosure in the balance sheet, how it is to be shown in the balance sheet of both hire purchaser and hire vendor, that we'll see now. At the end of each accounting period, the balances of relevant account appear in the balance sheet as shown below. Balance sheet of hire purchaser, that is hirer, he will show it on the asset side. Assets at cash price minus depreciation till date minus balance in hire vendor's account, that is amount due to hire vendor is also to be deducted, or this amount due to hire vendor can be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet also. So on the asset side, cash price of asset minus depreciation, and on the liability side, balance due to hire vendor, that also can be done. Now in the books of hire vendor balance sheet asset side, he will show it as hire purchase debtors, because he will consider this sale of asset as hire purchase sale and the amount due from hire purchaser to be shown as hire purchase debtor on the asset side. This is how it is to be disclosed in the balance sheet. Now we'll see one illustration. Illustration 5. On 1/1/2009, Mr. X took delivery from Mr. Y 5 machines on a hire purchase system. Rupees 4,000 being paid on delivery. 4,000 being paid on delivery, that means this is down payment. At the time of taking possession, you are supposed to pay certain amount, and that is known as down payment. In this case, down payment is 4,000, and the balance in 5 installments of 6,000 each payable annually on 31st December. 6,000 each he is supposed to pay in 5 installments. So 6,000 into 5, 30,000 is to be paid. The vendor company charges 5% interest per annum on yearly balances. The cash price of 5 machines was 30,000. Cash price is 30,000. Down payment is 4,000. And installment price is 6,000 into 5, 30,000 plus down payment. Show the entries without narration. Asset account, Mr. Y account for 5 years, assuming that the purchaser charges depreciation at 20% on straight line method. Installments 6,000 into 5, 30,000. Down payment is 4,000. Therefore, hire purchase price, total hire purchase price is 34,000. Why? Because he is supposed to pay 30,000 in 5 installments, and at the time of taking possession he is supposed to pay 4,000 down payment. Therefore, total hire purchase price is 34,000. Cash price is given as 30,000. Therefore, total interest is difference between hire purchase price and cash price. Total interest is 4,000. Now I will show you statement of calculation of interest and cash price of installment. This is very important statement. Interest is always to be calculated on outstanding cash price. Cash price is 30,000. Down payment at the time of taking possession he has paid 4,000. So outstanding cash price is 26,000. Rate of interest is 5%. 5% of 26,000 will be the interest amount, which is 1,300. Now he is supposed to pay installment 6,000 including interest. Total 5 installments he is supposed to pay. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 installments he is paying. 6,000 is the first installment, which includes interest 1,300. So outstanding cash prices in this particular installment, outstanding cash price is 4,700. Why? Because installment is 6,000. Interest just now we have calculated 1,300. So cash price is 4,700. So this is the interest on first installment. Now 26,000 was outstanding cash price. From that we'll deduct outstanding cash price of first installment, which is 4,700. Then you will get outstanding cash price, which is 21,300. On that 5%, You are supposed to calculate interest for second installment, which is 1065. 6000 minus 1065 is 4935. This is cash price of the second installment. Now from 21,300 deduct cash price of earlier installment 4935. You will get outstanding cash price, which is 16,365. On that 5%, 818. 6000 minus 818 is 5182. Deduct 5182 from 16,365. You will get outstanding cash price 11,183. 5% of that is 559. 6000 minus 559 is 5441. Deduct 5441 from 11,183. You will get outstanding cash price. Now this is the last installment. You have to be very careful. 5742 is the outstanding cash price. Directly enter it in cash price column. 5742. Installment, total installment including interest is 6000 minus cash price 5742. Sorry, 6000 is the total installment minus cash price 5742 for last installment. This is the way how you are supposed to calculate the interest. Now difference between these two is the interest amount. If you calculate 5% of 5742, you will not get this amount and your interest account will show some balance, it will not match. That is the reason why for the last installment always it is to be calculated in this manner. Find out the outstanding cash price, enter it in the cash price column. Installment minus cash price will be your interest. Add all these interest, total interest you will get 4000. Add cash price, you will get 26,000. Total cash price is 30,000, which is nothing but 26,000, which is in the installments plus 4,000 down payment. And total of the installments is 30,000. Now we'll see journal entries in the books of X. Asset account debit to Y 30,000 cash price. Y to bank down payment. This is at the time of taking possession on 1st Jan 2009. Then on 31st December all these entries will get repeated, only amount will be different. First entry on 31st December, interest to hire vendor 1300, interest due. Just now we have seen the interest 1300, first installment, second installment 1065, third installment 818, fourth installment 559 and last installment 258. Interest to Y 1300, Y to bank 6000, payment of first installment including interest. Depreciation to asset 6000 and profit and loss to interest to depreciation. See here, purchaser charges depreciation at the rate of 20% on straight line method. Depreciation is always to be calculated on cash price. 20% of 30,000 is 6,000. Depreciation to asset 6,000. Profit and loss to interest to depreciation. So your interest and depreciation account will get closed. Second year end 31st December 10, interest to Y 1065, Y to bank 6000, payment of second installment, depreciation to asset 6000 because it is straight line method, profit and loss to interest to depreciation. Third year 31st December 11, interest to Y 818, Y to bank 6000, depreciation to asset 6000, profit and loss to interest to depreciation. 31st December 12, interest to Y 559, Y to bank 6000, depreciation to asset 6000, profit and loss to interest to depreciation. Last installment, interest to Y 258, Y to bank 6000, depreciation to asset 6000, profit and loss to interest to depreciation. While calculating interest of the last installment, you have to be very careful. Asset account. Asset they have purchased on 1st Jan 2009. Asset to Y 30,000. 31st December, by depreciation 6,000, balance carried down. Second year beginning, balance brought down, by depreciation, balance carried down. Third year beginning, balance brought down, by depreciation, balance carried down. Fourth year beginning, two balance brought down, by depreciation, by balance carried down. Fifth year beginning, two balance brought down, by depreciation, account gets closed. Now they have asked you to open ledger account of Y also. I want you to do this ledger account of Y. If you open Y's account on 1st Jan 2009, Y's account credit side buy asset 30,000, then debit side to bank 4,000 on 1st Jan, then on 31st December buy interest 1,300, to bank 6,000, find out the balance carried down. Next year the same balance will be brought down. So just do this Y's account in the books of X. In this particular video, we have seen hire purchase system, installment system, difference between hire purchase and installment system, methods of accounting, disclosures in the balance sheet, and one illustration. Thank you.